Welcome to the Happy Hormones Coach podcast, your go-to source for all things women's health. I'm here to guide you through the ups and downs of hormonal changes, helping you understand how these shifts impact every aspect of your life. So whether you're in the perimenopause phase or really any other phase of life, looking to improve your overall well-being, or just seeking practical tips on stress management, nutrition, and fitness, then this podcast is for you. Join me as we explore holistic and functional approaches to health, share expert insights from guests, and empower you to feel your best at every stage of life. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to remind you that the information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of the Happy Hormones Coach podcast. I'm Jennifer, your guide on this holistic health journey where we dive into all things related to feeling good, period. Today, we're going on a little adventure, and it's definitely not your typical road trip. We're going to explore the garden inside of us, that hidden, vibrant place that connects every single thing from our head to our toes. So this is going to be a little bit different, but it'll be fun. Buckle up because this is definitely going to be fun and insightful. And so let's start our journey at the head. And the head is the command center of our garden. And imagine it as the sun that nourishes everything below it. Your brain, with all its neurons and synapses, is constantly firing, controlling every single function of your body. But just like in every garden, if the sun is too strong or too weak, it can throw everything off balance. So stress, anxiety, poor mental health can be like clouds blocking that sunlight, leading to a cascade of effects on the rest of your body. And that's why taking care of your mental health is so crucial. It's the energy source for the entire garden. And that's why I like to start out with that, because mental health is so important. And a little bit about why I wanted to structure this particular episode this way is because I just got done with a book club or a book study with amazing, wonderful, strong women and men in there. And we went over the Garden Inside of Us book. And it's so wonderful because it ties, I'm a Christian, so it does tie in faith with the science part too of like everything in our body. And it's just so cool how the author puts it all together. And so the book is called The Garden Inside of Us. And you can get that on Amazon or anywhere, and I highly recommend it. It's really good. It dives into a lot of geeky stuff that I like, and tying it into like how our body inside of us is like a garden, like a tree of life, right, if you will. And so moving on, we're going to move on to the heart, which is like our flower bed. So think of the heart as, like I said, the flower bed of our garden. And think of it as the most beautiful and resilient flower in your garden, or one inside of us, one that needs constant care and attention. So your heart pumps life-giving blood to every corner of your body. But if you don't manage stress, or if your emotions are all over the place, or if you're just holding on to something from your past, it doesn't necessarily have to be childhood, but it can be anything in the past that your body might be holding on to, any emotion that hasn't been released. You may have forgotten about it and put it away somewhere in your mind and just forgot about it, but your body does hold on to it. And so it's like letting weeds take over the central bed when all these things come into play. And so practices like, just being mindful, slowing down, being grateful, and stress and emotional regulation are like the fertilizer and water that it keeps your heart blooming, it keeps it pumping, and it keeps it healthy. And remember, a well-tended heart spreads love and life to every other part of your garden, which is so true. And just to give you an example, in my own garden, my heart is one that I definitely need to carefully tend to, because I have had medical problems the past year regarding it. And so stress management and nervous system regulation for me personally is one that is an area that I know I need to tend to. And so that's one that I am currently nourishing. So that's just an example. And so next we're going to dig into a little deeper into the garden of our soil, which is the soil of our garden. It's our gut. And this is where everything is absorbed and nourished. The gut is like the fertile soil that either feeds the flowers or lets them wither away. And if your digestion is off, or if you're feeding your gut with junk, it's like putting chemicals in your soil. And your gut health directly influences your mood, as we all tend to find out once we get in tune with our bodies, and also our energy and even how well you sleep. So tending to this soil with good nutrition, you can even throw if you absolutely need some probiotics, but anything that nutrition that'll feed your gut, and even a mindful eating routine, which I talked about in a couple episodes back about just slowing down and good eating hygiene. It can turn it into rich, fertile ground for your entire garden that it definitely needs to thrive. So our gut health is huge, connects to our brain, but also our heart as well. And so now, as we continue our journey, let's walk down the pathways, the nervous system that connects every part of our garden. And it's kind of like the branches, which is pretty cool because it connects everything together. And so imagine these pathways as the intricate network of roots that spread out and keep everything connected. Your nerves send messages between your brain and your body, making sure everything works in perfect harmony. But when these pathways get tangled up, like a spider web, like chronic stress or poor sleep, those messages get just all tangled up. And it's like trying to walk through a garden with overgrown paths. I mean, it's really frustrating. And so practicing techniques like deep breathing, meditation, gentle movement, anything that you enjoy can help keep these pathways clear and open and allowing your whole garden to function smoothly. The nervous system is huge, and that's one, like I said earlier, I'm personally working on nourishing and needing to regulate. But it connects to everything, and so once you have a good management on that, then usually it'll have a positive domino effect on everything else. But if you don't, you'll feel that negative domino effect on it too. And so finally, we reach the roots, which is your feet. They ground you, give you stability, and connect you to the earth. Imagine them as the roots of your garden, anchoring everything in place. And if your feet are neglected, it's like having shallow roots that can't support the weight of the garden above. So simple practices like grounding exercise, which I just did an episode on that, proper footwear, foot care can keep your roots strong and healthy. And also, blood sugar. Blood sugar is huge. And also just like detoxing, getting lymphatic movement, stretching, just, movement in general is good just to get your feet, you just want to keep things moving. You want it to be circulating. You want your blood flowing and everything fine there with your feet because, as you know, certain diseases or medical conditions can have a huge impact on your feet as well, especially the one thing that comes to mind is like diabetes. And so we really want to tend to that also. And so there you have it. It is a short, brief journey through the garden inside of us, and every part is interconnected. When one area is neglected, it affects the whole. And that's, I think, the purpose of really doing this very small, brief episode, is that I want you to understand that it's not just these areas that I talked about, but it extends to every single area of our bodily systems, our body functions, our organs. Every single thing is connected. And definitely, when one is neglected, it affects it. When one is good, then it does have a positive effect as well. And so there has to be that good balance. And so when you tend to each part with care and nourish it, then your inner garden can just it thrives in ways you never imagine. And so remember, it's not just about treating symptoms. We really don't want to get to that. We really want to nourish and be nurturing to our entire being, from our head to our toes and everything in between. And so before we wrap up, let's do a brief breathing exercise to help you connect to your inner garden. So find a comfortable seat, close your eyes if it is safe to do so. If you are not driving or anywhere else, if you are at home and comfortable, get comfortable, you can close your eyes then. And take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly like you're watering your garden with fresh, nourishing energy. Hold it for a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension or weeds that might be lingering. And let's do that for a few more times. So inhale, imagining the sunlight filling your garden, and exhale, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. One last time, inhale deeply and exhale fully. So thank you so much for joining me on this inner journey today. Remember, your body is a beautiful garden that needs love, care, and attention. Until next time, keep tending to your garden and stay vibrant. Thank you for tuning in to the Happy Hormones Coach podcast. I hope you found today's episode insightful and empowering. Remember, taking charge of your health is a journey, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the other episodes, please be sure to share, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It does help me to reach more women like you who are striving for optimal health and happiness. And don't forget to follow me on social media for daily tips and inspiration. Until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep thriving.